Most people think they are productive because they are busy. But what if everything you are doing is moving you in the wrong direction? What if the problem isn't that you don't work hard enough, but that you are working on the wrong things? It is not about being constantly busy, and that needs to be made clear right from the start. The individual who appears to be moving the fastest is not always the person who is actually making the greatest progress. There are people who wear their busyness like a badge of honor. You've probably noticed them. They are always in motion, always rushing, always talking about how much they have on their plate and how little time they have left. They are forever behind schedule, forever overwhelmed, forever reacting to the next demand. Yet when the day finally ends and the noise dies down, there is often very little to show for all that motion. There is a profound difference between constant activity and real achievement, and understanding that difference changes everything. So ask yourself an honest question. What does productivity truly mean? Is it staying up late night after night, burning the candle at both ends, filling every waking moment with tasks, calls, messages, and meetings? Is it packing your schedule so tightly that there is no room to breathe? Or is productivity something deeper, something more intentional, something rooted in results rather than exhaustion? I believe productivity is the art of getting meaningful things done. It is not about draining yourself of energy. It is about producing outcomes that truly matter, outcomes that move your life forward in a deliberate direction. I have met people who appeared to do far less than others, yet they achieved far more. They moved with intention rather than panic. They carried a quiet sense of direction. They allowed themselves time to think, to reflect, and to choose carefully. Somehow the results they produced outweighed the frantic efforts of those who rushed endlessly without stopping to consider where they were going. A productive life is not measured by how busy you appear to be, but by how much real progress you are making toward your own purpose and vision. The truth is, staying busy is easy. Anyone can fill a day with activity. You can answer emails, attend meetings, run errands, and still go to bed feeling exhausted. Effectiveness, however, is rare. To be effective requires courage and clarity. It means stopping long enough to ask yourself whether your actions are actually moving you closer to your goals. It means questioning whether you are building the kind of life you truly want, or simply spinning your wheels in place. At the end of the day, no one hands out awards for being worn out. There are no trophies for exhaustion. The rewards go to those who move the needle, not just the clock. Think about a farmer. He does not spend the entire day running aimlessly across the field. He plants deliberately. He waters patiently. He removes weeds carefully. Every action is measured. Every step is chosen with intention. When harvest time arrives, the results speak for themselves. That is productivity. It is not frantic movement. It is purposeful action over time. I learned early in life that the most valuable question is not how busy I am, but how effective I am. Am I making progress today? Am I closer to the vision I have for my life? Am I investing my energy in the areas that matter most? These questions create awareness, and awareness creates change. Do not fall into the trap of confusing activity with advancement. Build a life that consistently produces progress. Judge your productivity not by how much you do, but by how far you move toward your purpose. At the end of each week, take time to reflect. Ask yourself what results you actually produced. Consider where you invested your time and what that investment yielded. Remember that the goal is not simply to fill your days, but to build a life that has meaning. The aim is to produce results that count, results that compound over time. When you start from that place, everything else can be built on solid ground. Everything begins with how you think. The way you think determines how you act, and how you act shapes what you produce. It all starts with your philosophy, your personal set of beliefs about how the world works and what is possible for you. You cannot build a productive life on confused thinking. When the mind is cluttered, actions become scattered. It is like trying to plant seeds in rocky soil. You may put in effort, but the harvest will never be what it could have been. If you want to change your life, begin by changing your philosophy. Examine what you believe about time. Do you see time as something that is always running out, constantly slipping through your fingers? Or do you believe that time becomes abundant when it is used wisely, protected carefully, and planned intentionally? Consider what you believe about effort. Do you see hard work as punishment, or do you see it as the pathway to growth and achievement? Think about reward. Do you truly believe you deserve success, or does a quiet voice inside you keep you playing small and settling for less? The way you answer these questions determines the direction of your life. Some people spend their entire lives wishing that things would get easier. Wiser individuals focus on getting better. That shift alone can change everything. Instead of waiting for circumstances to improve, you improve yourself. Instead of blaming conditions, you adjust your approach. Instead of complaining about the wind, you learn how to set your sails. There was a time when I believed the only way to get ahead was to outwork everyone else. I thought longer hours and constant effort were the sole keys to success. Over time, I learned that this was only part of the equation. It is not just about working harder, it is about working smarter. You can exhaust yourself traveling down the wrong road and arrive at a destination you never wanted. That is why philosophy matters so deeply. It is the map you use to navigate your days. If that map is inaccurate, even slightly, you can end up lost. When you take time to refine your thinking and sharpen your beliefs, your results begin to change. Challenge your philosophy. Do not simply inherit it. Do not accept beliefs just because they are familiar or comfortable. Study, reflect, and decide for yourself what you believe about time, effort, and reward. The right philosophy leads to the right habits, and the right habits produce the right results. Your philosophy becomes the lens through which you see every opportunity, every challenge, and every moment of your life. When you believe that effort pays off, you are willing to do the work. When you believe time is valuable, you protect it from waste. When you believe you deserve success, you pursue it with confidence. If you want a productive life, start by clearing your thinking. Clear thinking leads to clear actions, and clear actions produce extraordinary outcomes. When philosophy is in place, purpose gives it direction. Purpose is what gets you out of bed in the morning and keeps you moving when things become difficult. It gives meaning to effort and structure to discipline. When your purpose is clear, discipline no longer feels like a burden. Instead of dragging yourself through the day, you feel pulled forward by something larger than yourself. Many people try to build routines simply because they were told they should. They follow plans that do not connect to anything meaningful. For a short time, motivation may carry them forward, but eventually it fades. That is what happens when the reason is missing. Motivation comes and goes. Purpose remains. When you know why you are doing something, you can endure discomfort, resist temptation, and continue moving forward long after others have quit. Purpose brings clarity. It is like turning on the lights in a dark room. Suddenly you can see which actions matter and which ones do not. You stop saying yes to everything. You stop scattering your energy across countless distractions. Instead, you focus. Purpose becomes a filter. If something does not move you toward your goals, you let it go without guilt. There comes a moment in life when effort alone is no longer enough. You may be working hard and still feel stuck. That moment is an invitation to pause and ask deeper questions. What do I really want? What am I willing to trade my life for? When you answer those questions honestly, everything begins to change. Work becomes lighter, not because the tasks are easier, but because the reason behind them becomes stronger. With purpose, discipline becomes an ally rather than an enemy. Early mornings and late nights are no longer a struggle because you know what they serve. You stop searching for shortcuts because you are building something that matters. Purpose anchors you during difficult seasons. When challenges arise, and they always do, purpose gives you something solid to hold on to. If your only reason for working is a paycheck, it becomes easy to quit when things get hard. But when your reason is bigger than yourself, you find another gear. Remind yourself daily why you started. Return to your purpose when distractions appear, when progress feels slow, and when doubt creeps in. Purpose simplifies decisions. It helps you say no more often and yes with greater conviction. The world will always try to pull you in many directions. Purpose gives you the strength to stand firm. Clarity of purpose must be supported by structure. A productive life does not happen by accident. It happens by design. Hope alone is not a strategy. Progress requires a plan. Without planning, you drift. You react instead of led. One distraction pulls you into another, and before you realize it, the day is gone. Planning gives direction to intention. It turns vision into action. Dreams without structure remain fantasies. Writing things down brings clarity. Vague desires become defined steps. Defined steps create momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Planning helps you decide in advance what truly matters and protect it from interruption. Successful people respect the power of planning. They may use schedules, journals, planners, or simple lists, but the tool matters less than the intention. Planning is not rigidity, it is focus. When you plan, you tell your time where to go instead of wondering where it went. Each day becomes an opportunity to move closer to your purpose. Structure allows you to say no to what does not matter and yes to what does. Life will always offer countless ways to stay busy. Planning helps you choose the few actions that actually create progress. With a plan in place, purpose becomes action, and action becomes achievement. Daily performance is where everything becomes real. Goals mean nothing without consistent action. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. Excellence is not a single event. It is a pattern repeated over time. What you do each day, especially when no one is watching, defines who you become. Review your performance regularly. Small adjustments made daily prevent large failures later. Focus requires protection. Distractions are costly. Guard your attention. Measure your actions. Numbers do not lie. They reveal whether you are moving forward or standing still. Effort alone is not enough. Results matter. Persistence is essential. There will be days when you do not feel motivated. Discipline carries you through those moments. Over time, disciplined actions compound into extraordinary results. Celebrate progress along the way. Small wins matter. They are evidence that you are on the right path. Rest and reflection complete the cycle. Rest is not weakness, it is maintenance. Even the strongest systems need renewal. Without rest, clarity fades and quality declines. Reflection turns experience into wisdom. It allows you to adjust before small problems become large ones. When all of these elements work together, life changes. Balance emerges, momentum builds, effort feels meaningful, productivity becomes sustainable. You stop chasing activity and start creating progress. The reward is not just what you accomplish, but who you become in the process.